I'm Kayla, and today I'm going to be talking about my reactions to the Riverdale Season 3 premiere episode. Um, First, I want to say sorry this is getting uploaded after midnight. It's been a busy week, and I wasn't able to record till really late, so by the time it was done uploading, it takes like an hour and a half to upload, so it was after midnight by the time it was done. And also, I want to say, spoiler alert, if you have not watched Riverdale and you plan to, you should not watch this video. If you watched Riverdale but you haven't seen the season 3 premiere episode, you probably shouldn't watch this episode. So I'm about to say everything that happens, pretty much. So first thing that happens, what is wrong with my hair right now? Sorry, my hair is not wanting to stay and it looks weird. Okay, so the first thing that happens is we see Archie's trial starting. Because at the end of last season, he got arrested for the murder of Cassidy. Cassidy, whatever, I don't remember his last name. And so we see his trial start, and the other side that's accusing him says their testimony and says he did this and this and that, and they try to make him look bad, even though all the things that they're trying to make him look bad for are being taken out of context. And then the mom talks, because his mom is his lawyer. And she goes up and says why he's innocent. And she says there's no proof that shows that this boy is anything more than an innocent boy. We have no murder weapon. We have no motive. We have no proof of anything. We have no witnesses. There's nothing tying this boy to this crime at all. And then they call it for the day, and the jury goes to deliberate, and everybody else goes home for the weekend. The judge says to Archie, I think you should take this weekend to go spend time with your loved ones. And then over the weekend is most of the episode. First we see them go to, we see Betty and Archie at Archie and Jughead might have been there. No, I think it was just Betty, Archie, and Archie's dad. They were in Archie's garage working on the car that him and his dad had been working on. And his dad goes in the house for a minute, and Archie talks to Betty, and he says, if I get locked up, I want you to keep an eye on my dad, because he's going to be all alone once my mom goes back to Chicago. And I want you to, invite him over to dinner once in a while and stuff. Like, promise me. And she says, okay, I will, but you don't need to be putting your house in order. You're not getting locked up. We're not letting you. And he tells them all, one of the first things he tells them when that weekend starts is, I don't want to spend this whole weekend trying to prove my innocence. I don't want to spend this whole weekend trying to find evidence that isn't there. I want to enjoy it so that if I do get locked up, at least I enjoyed the last couple of days we had while I was out. And they all say, okay. And they respect that. And I think the first thing they do is go to the swimming hole from when they were little. And they take Veronica, and the four of them go in Archie's car. And they swim for a while, and then we see them they all get out of the water, and Betty and Jughead kind of go one way, and Archie and Veronica go the other, and they're, hanging out on their towels and talking and kissing, and Jughead puts the hat on Betty, and they're adorable. And we see Archie and Veronica, and of course they're kissing, and I'm pretty sure they had sex in the woods. But we see him say what seems like he's starting to break up with her. And she goes, no, you're not doing this. We are not breaking up. And you are not telling me not to come visit you. I will be there every visitor's day with cupcakes from New York. Or whatever it was she was going to bring him. And she was like, you don't get to tell me not to visit you. I will be there. And then she goes to her dad and tries to get him to fix things. And she says, look, I know that you did this. I know you're the one behind all this. And you know Archie's innocent. So just go tell them that you did all this and you framed him and that he's innocent. Just go tell the truth and tell everybody Archie's innocent. And he says, it's beyond my control. He's very emotionless the entire time. And, everybody knows that he's the reason this is happening. And I'm pretty sure it's not beyond his control because he controls, the whole friggin' town. I did think the moment where he tries to break up with Veronica and then doesn't, and the moment with Betty where he says, take care of my dad, were very sweet. Then we see them go to a pool party at Cheryl's house. And at the pool party, first we see that Josie and Sweet Pea are now a couple. And Sweet Pea's, trying to make it more long-term. He wants to keep dating her. And she's like, no, I told you this was going to be a summer fling. because when school starts up, I need to focus on my music, and he's trying to get her to date him longer because he likes her, and I think they're cute. I think they're really cute together. Then we have Moose and Kevin. I foresee some disagreements in their future because Kevin pretty much says we need to have sex soon. Like he says by Halloween at the latest, and this is on Labor Day, so that's about within like a month. And Moose doesn't react at all. He doesn't acknowledge it. He doesn't say anything back, and it makes me think that he's not too comfortable with the idea. So I have a feeling that that's going to lead to some disagreements with them, but I guess we'll see. Then we see Cheryl talking to Josie, and Cheryl's all upset because she's thinking back to when she tried to kill herself in the pond, and Archie broke through the ice and saved her. And she's like, he saved my life. Like, I wish there was something I could do to help him. And she just feels helpless, and she's just upset about it. And I thought that was really sweet, too. And then, also at the pool party, Veronica's talking to Josie, and she says, I tried everything I can, and I wish I could talk to the jury, but I'm not allowed. I don't know where they're at, and it's too late now. And Josie says, maybe not. And she says, you didn't hear it from me, but here's where they're staying, and I think I can get you in. So that night we see Veronica wearing a maid's outfit, pretending to work at the hotel so she can go into their hotel room and try to persuade them to say that Archie's innocent. And she gets to their room, and she knocks on the door and says, room service. And then right before they can open the door, Sheriff, is it Mineta? He shows up, and he says, your dad thought you might do something like this, and takes her down to the station, and her mom has to go get her. And this is when we find out that her mom is just a pawn in the game. We find out that Hermione doesn't have the safety that Veronica has. Hermione is a prisoner in this game that Hiram is working. He doesn't care as much about Hermione, but Veronica is his little girl, so he'll protect her. So the mom is staying with him to keep Veronica safe. And so then they all go, Betty, Archie, Jughead, Cheryl, and some of the other serpents, they all decide to go get their dog back from the ghoulies because Jughead sent one of the serpents out and said, go figure out where the ghoulies are camped out at. I want to make sure they're not up to anything. Because he didn't want to start any more fights. He's just trying to make sure they weren't about to attack him. And so they go, and the guy, whoever he sent, came back and said, hey, they've got Hot Dog. So they go to get Hot Dog back, and everybody else stays by the car to watch Lookout. And Jughead goes and unchains Hot Dog, and he starts to walk away, and the lights cut on. And all of the ghoulies, led by Penny Peabody herself, come out. And Penny goes, hey, Jonesy. And they start talking, and she tries to get him to give her his jacket because she says they're not the South Side Serpents anymore. And so he says he'll give it to her if she stays away from if they stay away from the North Side. And then they say you can't make demands. And then Cheryl shoots an arrow, which I think is why the rest of this happened. So she shoots her arrow, and then Penny says, "All right, kill them all." Then Jughead says, "Hey Cheryl, aim your next arrow right between Penny's eyes." And then he says, "You guys better not take another step, or she'll shoot." Cheryl doesn't miss. And so they all freeze. All the ghoulies freeze, and they do not move. And Jughead goes back to the car with the dog, and they leave. And the last thing that Penny says, they don't move at all, but Penny says one thing while everybody's leaving. She says, "You just made the North Side fair game." So I have a feeling there's going to be another big fight between the serpents and the ghoulies. Jughead better not freaking die because he almost did last time, and he's my favorite character. So I would be very upset if that happens. So they go back, and then we see right before Archie's trial starts back up, Dilton Doily he shows up at Jughead's house, and Dilton has been acting weird since the beginning of the episode. Every time they see him, he seems on edge. He seems like antsy. He's like looking all over the place, and nobody knows why. Well, he shows up at Jughead's house with something in his hand, and he says, "Look, I need to talk to you about this monster." And Jughead says, all right, look, just stay here, get some rest, and we'll talk about this when I get back, okay? I gotta go to Archie's trial. And he says, okay. And he sits down, and Jughead leaves. He goes to Archie's trial, and at the trial, what happens is the jury comes in and they say, we can't make a decision. We're split 50-50. No one's going to change their mind. And so the judge says, all right, dismissed, and sends the jury home. And he's just about to call a retrial when the side that's trying to get Jughead, Archie put in jail says, we have a counter deal. 2 years in juvie plus time served, whatever that means. And Archie says, all right, and they say, but he has to admit he has to plead guilty. And Archie says, all right, I'll do it. And then his mom's like, no, what are you doing? Don't do that. And he's like, no, I'm not putting you guys through another trial. I'll do it. And he takes the deal so that everybody else doesn't have to deal with another trial, which shows how good of a person he really is. And as he's getting carted off in handcuffs, you see Veronica running after him crying, saying, no, he doesn't deserve this. He didn't do anything wrong. Let him go. Let him go. And he says, I love you, Veronica. And Betty goes and gets Veronica, and he gets carried out. That's the last thing he says. And then you see him in the truck getting taken away, and Jughead goes back to his house, and Dilton's gone. He's like, wait a minute, Dilton? And so he goes outside to go, look around in the woods and stuff and see if he can find him. And he comes across what looks like a summoning ritual, and Dilton and some other guy laying on the ground with their arms out like this and their heads down like this, and they have their shirts off, and they have weird symbols carved into their backs, like in their skin. And I still don't know what the heck that was. I was very confused by that. I will say the scene in the courtroom where Archie gets taken away was a tearjerker. That was emotional. But so then, we see Jughead yelling for help, and then it kind of goes off of Jughead. That's the last we see of that for the episode. Then it goes to Betty. Well, previously, about halfway through the episode, we see Betty talking to Polly and Alice. And they're trying to get her to go talk to this guy at the farm because they're saying, oh, he helped me and he helped Polly and he can help you too. But you have to admit you have a problem and blah, blah, blah. And Polly tells the mom, oh, Betty made up Dr. Glass. He's not real. She's been making it up and writing her own prescriptions for Adderall for a while. And so they confront Betty about this. And she's like, so what if I'm making up my own Adderall prescription? Like a year ago, you were throwing Adderall in my hand. You were trying to get me to take it. So why are you mad that I'm taking it now? And so they realize something's going on, and we realize that she's been secretly taking medicine. And she kind of contemplates not taking it anymore, but I don't know, if that's going to happen or not. And then we see her, she goes downstairs, she hears the babies, and we see her, go out onto the porch and see the babies. The mom's holding one and Polly's holding one, and they're around a fire with some other people, and they throw the babies up into the air. It almost looks like they're going to get thrown into the fire, but they're probably not. And then Betty falls to the ground and starts seizing. At first, I thought this was a dream that she was having until the seizure, because then her mom runs over and she's like, Betty! And then I know the seizure is real, but I'm kind of confused what was happening before that, because I swear it looked like those babies were being thrown into the fire, and that doesn't make any sense. But I think it might have just been the angle. I think they might have just been throwing the babies up in the air, and then catching them. Probably. But anyway, that was kind of weird. But so then Betty falls to the ground and starts seizing. And the mom is just like, Betty! And then it ends. In the middle of the seizure. So now we're left wondering, is Betty okay? What the hell happened to Dilton and the other kid? How are they going to get Archie out of jail? Those are the main three. What's going to happen with the serpents? I do think, this is the prediction, I think that Cheryl is going to be instrumental somehow in helping Archie get out of jail. I think she's going to have a really big contribution to that. Because she seemed really upset that she couldn't. And so I think she's going to be very important to that. Another thing that I really liked about this episode was after Archie gets locked up, Veronica goes back home to talk to her dad. She says, how could you do that? And he said, you thought all this time I was punishing Archie. I wasn't punishing him. I was punishing you because you went against blood for that boy. How could you do that? My own daughter. And she straight up looks at him and says, "You don't have a daughter anymore," and walks away. And that was one of those moments where I just went, yes, good job. And that made me very happy because Hiram's a jerk. So, I think that's all I have to talk about for this one. I'm sorry if this I'm sorry if this video was kind of boring. It was kind of last minute. I've had a really busy week, which again is why this is getting uploaded after midnight. But I promise next week will be better. I already have an idea for the video, so I'm going to be starting to plan it hopefully this weekend. And if you guys like this and you want me to do more videos where I, react to the episode, I can. If not, I'll probably just do one like mid-season and one at the end of the season. But let me know down in the comments. Let me know what else you want me to talk about. There's something else I wanted to say. What did I want to say? Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I might be doing a video in a week or two where I talk about my Halloween costume and how I what it's comprised of, how I made it. For those of you that want to be Betty for Halloween from Riverdale, I'm going to be dressing up as Betty and my boyfriend's going to be Jughead. So I might do a video where I kind of show all of the elements of our costumes and what we used and how we pieced it together, and I might say where I got everything from, in case you guys want to do that. So if that's something you're interested in, tell me down in the comments. Most likely I'll probably do it in 2 weeks when Dante's here so he can do it with me. Also, I still have to order all the costume parts, so I don't know when they'll get here, so I'll have to do it after that. But that'll be an upcoming video, so look forward to that. If you want to see me do some spooky stuff or Halloween stuff, since it is the month of Halloween, let me know down in the comments and I can think of some spooky stuff. I guess that's it. Like this video, please subscribe to my channel, please. If you didn't see my video, which video was it? I think it was a couple videos ago, but if you didn't see the video where I mentioned my giveaway, I will be doing a giveaway when I hit 100 subscribers. So if you get me to 100, I will do a giveaway. And most likely it'll be a gift card to somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. I haven't decided. So leave me comments if you want to suggest a place. It'll probably be maybe a $10 gift card. You will have to be subscribed to me to enter. But once I hit 100, I will do a video where I explain the rules of that giveaway. Because I haven't really made the rules yet. So help me get to 100 subscribers, and then I'll give away a $10 gift card to somewhere. And I suppose that's it. So I will see you guys next week. Bye!